Coach, from the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on. Present. Mike 57. I don't think you got it, son.
Okay, Coach, well, this place can get downright loud when the roof is closed, and that's the situation here today at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
We got this. Watch the screen. Two. Shift. Watch the shift.
Listen to me.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy?
Cousins gives way to Cook. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Let's go, one more.
Gun.
55. Too little, Cupcake.
On 3rd down, Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Let's go.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Cook. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Jahan, ready?
Right there in the middle. 55. Watch the run. Hey, they're running it.
Where's Jahan?
Now Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Watch the slant.
To throw, Cousins. This is caught. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Third down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Whitney Merciless showing no mercy. Flies in for the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hey, alert, alert!
57's the mic! 57's the mic! 65, 65!
55!
65!
From the gun, here's Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Well, you're already down on the scoreboard, and now, Charles, you go out there, very first play, throw the interception. That defense, they're going to have to bow up.
Yeah, let's see how they handle this, because we always talk about reverting back to what you practice. When you practice these situations, it's called sudden change. You don't expect to be out there this fast, but you are. Do you go out there with...
Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early, as they've got it 1st and 10.
Check 31! 24! Out, 31!
Alert flare! Alert flare!
The first carry now. This is Johnson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Let's go.
Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
No. Off.
54!
Faking the give. Now Watson. Buying time to his left. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the 1st down marker. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. And now the Redskins, they've opened up a 2-touchdown lead there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
At their own 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, Creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go.
Wide.
Now a run with Cook. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary.
Cut.
From the gun, here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Back 55.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. So drive 1, they had the field goal. Drive 2, touchdown. And now here on drive 3, looks like they're going to have to punt.
At least they were finally able to reverse the trend, because giving up the field goal, then the touchdown, it's almost like they finally got to the offensive side of the ball and said, okay, we've got the system to shut you down.
Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Ben Gideon in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21, and not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go. Check nickel.
Out of the gun, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And this will do the job nicely, as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here, as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, wahoo!
Throwing, Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Jahan, where are you? Let's 50, let's 50.
Watch
2. Watch Jahan.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Jahan, where are you?
21 Mike. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you.
Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. Pushing tackler. It's a foot race. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Being chased out left. It's complete to Fuller. And all the way down to the 26.
Let's go. Do it.
Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 53 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Set. 19.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Let him go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Come on. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
At 59.
57's the mic. 57's the mic.
Let him go.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
All day, baby, all day.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Johnson's got it complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Here I come again.
Hey, 59.
55.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. He's got Fuller. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Hey. 4 down.
On 1st down, Watson. He gets this one to Johnson. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Anderson-Dejo.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They don't want to repeat a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the 1st quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
They're not ready
for this, man.
One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw is Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Operating from the gun, Watson. And he's got it. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are back within a single score. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. On 1st and 10, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch. But you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Following a good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. J.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you have a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
Yeah, nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Check 3, check 3, check 3.
To the car.
Rotate, spell. 57's Mike. Mike 57. I'm coming after you.
They turn to the fullback, Gillespie. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Man, that's trash. That's trash. Shoot.
Hey, 55.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Exit.
59. Hey, to the car.
Get a roll. West.
SOS.
Hey, 59. Down him, go.
Johnson running right. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. This is fielded inside the 5. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Cook running right. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Cousins. He'll find his receiver. That's Chad Beebe. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Hey, Alpha.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
40 worth the mic, 40 worth the mic. Check 41.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Alert! On him, go!
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And that is incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
The Texans on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Watson. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Leave it, bring up 48. Leave it, bring up 48. Hey, Charlie. 41.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
55 is mine, guys. 55.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 12 yards there, 1st down, Vikings.
And the Vikings first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Mike 41, Mike 41.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
There you go.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
After the interception, here's Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ben Gideon able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, boot.
And the pressure gets to him again. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw, Watson. And an alley to run. 19 yards is the pickup there, but even with that, they're well short. It's 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Watch twist.
Larry.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson Aho. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. First carry for the fullback, Aaron Ripkowski. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Hey, no, easy.
Check 55 to Mike. Check.
Gun.
Hey, watch the slant.
Wait, done.
On first down, Cook. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Again, it's Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. On the ground, it's Cook. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And not what he was hoping for there as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Watson now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And a catch made by Hopkins. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one goes for 24 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. One last throw here for Watson. Dancing to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? You remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
So for Minnesota, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season.